I don't know who's paying me the big bucks today.
The day I pay myself is the big bucks is the day I win in life. When I can write my own check, say less.
I mean, I say right.
Speaking of checks, have you done your taxes yet?
No.
Me neither.
So listen,
last year I was so ahead of the game.
No, I haven't done my taxes yet because I went to go do them. Actually, let's get into this. So yesterday,
I was thinking too. We gotta
do it for the business.
We got another set of taxes too. I don't know how to fucking do that.
Bitch, I don't know. I'm gonna say it. Have sex with a Scorpio.
I could glute bridge your dad. I'm naked. Hold on.
We will be flicking the beans to that.
But she's tatted and I take meth. Is somebody in your house right now?
But you know what? Fuck your ass.
Yeah, I had sex last night.
You can make your own money. You can literally have your own job of your dreams. You can own your own house. You can own your own car. You can pay all your fucking own bills. So what is that man? That man is sex and a best friend, and that's it.
I heard nothing but the truth.
Never have I ever.
TurboTax, hit us up.
Never have I ever had to do that. But I mean, actually, I do know a couple people here that own businesses, so I'm gonna ask them. And
Yeah,
see, like
I know on TurboTax you can just do it.
like a business one.
Yeah, so we can just do it through them.
We might as well, just because we didn't make that money. But anyway,
Yeah.
Cut all of that, Emily. It's so fucking stupid to have anybody listen to. But no, I haven't done my taxes yet. I went to go do my taxes yesterday, and guess what? My Wi-Fi just stopped fucking working for like a whole 24 hours of my life.
Oh,
so
weird.
I actually had to go to a Starbucks so that I could download your videos for the vlog because I had no Wi-Fi. I paid the bill. I don't know why it wasn't working. So, yeah.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your provider?
Xfinity.
Typical.
And honestly, sometimes I just be doing that.
That's so weird.
And like, I don't know. It was annoying. So I didn't do my fucking taxes because I was like, I probably shouldn't do my taxes on like a public
domain.
Yeah.
I know. I was going to do my taxes today, and then I like went into the TurboTax website, and I forgot what I used for my login last year. And then I was like, wait, did I even use TurboTax last year?
You
What did I do?
You did because you told me to use it.
That's okay. I couldn't remember what my login was, but I didn't want to make a new account, so then I just kind of stopped.
No, yeah, you told me to use that last year because I was gonna use my Liddy back at home, but then I was like, nah, they're not that hard.
Yeah, and also like by the time you get done with it, like I just used my return to pay for the service, so like it was technically free. So I was like, yeah, this is fine, and it was really easy. But yeah, do your taxes or don't. Fuck the government. Honestly,
they be fucking us.
I saw a video today that there's $2 trillion of unclaimed taxpayer dollars this past year. And
so then how are we in debt?
well, they're I guess for the past 5 years when they do their okay, I'm not an accountant. Yeah, when they do like the audit of like the government finances, like there's always something off. Like it never, like the balance sheet is never balanced properly. And I guess this past year it was like $2 trillion. So technically every American citizen has about $7,000 that's unaccounted for. And so another thing is like, since we are second class citizens now because of our bodily autonomy being taken away, I'm like, should I have to pay the same taxes as somebody who has all of their rights? Because no taxation without representation. That's what I'm saying. And there's an argument that this one woman made, and she's a Nashville resident. She's like, I'm not paying my taxes because I'm not an equal under the law here. So why should I pay my taxes? I was like, girl, you do that, but I am so goddamn scared of the IRS.
Yes. Like, I'm going to back you, but I'm going to do my taxes.
I know. I'm going to protest from the sidelines on that one because god damn it, if there's one thing that business school scared the fuck out of me, it's all this, like, we did all these case studies about like these giant corporations that were like embezzling money and like cheating the government on like their taxation and shit, and I'm like, dude, that's the last thing I need in my life for my measly ass salary I make. I'm like, I don't need to get in trouble for that.
No, like, I mean, maybe it'll be a vacation though.
Yeah,
Go
true.
get locked up for a little bit. Might be vacation.
Ooh, free meals.
Get 2 free hot meals a day.
Sometimes I see the shit on
Get to work out.
prison TikTok, and I'm like, it doesn't seem that bad. They got phones, they got Wi-Fi, they got computer access.
Okay, but that has to just be like jail. That can't be like prison.
I don't know.
It has to be like state prison. That can't be like the serious prison.
Yeah, true. That's where the
serious.
murderers are. They're not in that.
They're not in that one. Yeah, no.
These are like the speeding ticket bitches.
Yeah, these are the people who like didn't pay
They've
their
got
taxes.
their like third DUI, and they're like, okay, we gotta lock you up for 60 days.
Yeah, like that's like those people.
Anybody who's ever been to jail, write us in. How is it?
Honestly, I actually know people that have been to jail, and I love asking questions.
Oh,
I know people who actually, I think that'd be a fun episode to have somebody on.
The only people that I know that have ever been like quote arrested were just in like a holding cell overnight.
No, I know people who have gone to prison. I know people who have gone to jail.
Prison?
Yeah.
What did they do?
I mean, I'm gonna be real. They were just all line cooks at the. So what did they do?
Drug felonies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this one girl I used to work with, love her to death. She stole diamonds from a jeweler.
You want to know something crazy about
what?
So like, I don't know if I should share this, but
Maybe just take out the part. Just say you want to know something
Okay.
crazy.
Here's something crazy about somebody that I know. Emily, cut it to that part. She was one of the first reported instance of wire fraud or wiretapping, and she tapped her ex-husband's phone. And this is how she got into tech, because she was like interested in this stuff.
Well, but she did it with no degree, so
yeah, exactly. And this was like back with landlines, so she was like tapping the phone because she knew he was cheating on her, and she was trying to catch him in the act, so that way when she went to file for divorce, she would get, you know, equal rights to stuff, and also she could get custody over her son, because she basically wanted to prove like he's not being a parent, because like he would literally just like leave the son in the house alone while he would go like with his mistress or whatever for like days at a time, while he was supposed to be like watching the kid because she was like on business or whatever. And so she ends up going to jail. No, she gets arrested, but then she gets recruited by the FBI to do it for them, to start tapping lines for them and basically educate them on how to do it. So she got all of her
So they were like,
charges.
we're not even gonna put you in prison.
No. She got all of her charges. Like, they're not on her record anymore because she worked with the literal FBI.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy? I'm like, you're a badass. That's fucking cool.
No, I love being on like prison TikTok and like jail TikTok, but not when they're in the jail.
I was about to say,
prison.
the only thing I ever see in jail TikTok is like old dudes doing like thirst traps from their like Android cell phone.
No, so I don't like that part, because I'm like, whatever, like they're just fucking there, they're just trying to get their bag, which whatever, they need commissary too.
Hey,
listen,
got to get those noodles somehow.
I know they got to get their commissary.
People get knifed in jail over like $3 because of commissary. Like, I get it.
Do you?
I get wanting to eat.
Okay.
I can relate on that fact.
I didn't know if you happened to have a stint in jail or something that you understood the commissary rules.
No,
but like, I love.
I've watched a lot of those prisoner TV shows though.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
Same, exactly. I think that's just so
when they
interesting.
talk through the toilets and stuff.
Yes, but like those people, like I love seeing like on TikTok people that were like in jail or prison, and then they like actually just like talk about like their experience and like things that like they saw or did, or like things they had to do to like stay alive or like whatever. I think that shit is like so interesting because it's a whole other world than like,
it's really fucked up too. Like like especially like our prison system is just like not meant to help people afterwards. Like
our entire justice system isn't even fair. I feel like a lot of people that are in there aren't even in there for like
valid reasons.
Yeah, if you would like have common sense.
Yeah, true. But there's this one account that I follow on TikTok, and it's like a psychiatrist who like works in prisons with people who are going through recovery for addiction. And she does this segment on her TikTok called like Tapping Tuesdays. And it's like basically like these tapping exercises that help basically like calm you down through like a panic attack, or like if you're like, you know, feeling like you want to use or something like that. And like, it is really cool to see like them, you know, like taking the time to like listen to what this lady has to say and going through the steps of the program with her. And like, I don't know, like it's like shit like that I'm like, we need more people like her, like teaching people and like giving them the tools so like when they leave, hopefully they don't find themselves back in here. But anyways, I really like that TikTok account, and it's cool because she introduced the idea of it, but since then she's had like the prisoners like lead the videos after that. Like
That's
she's
so
not
cool.
involved in them. It's just them like walking you through the meditation basically. So yeah.
Well, that is cool. Actually, I feel like that'd be a sick episode. Just because I think it's so interesting and like it's a whole other world. And like, I mean, of course, like, not that I like, you know, but it's just like I know a lot of people who have gone to jail for like DUIs or like.
Yeah, I feel like everybody
like
I
that.
know who's ever been arrested is just like some rich white kid who like got a DUI or like a public intox or like a minor in possession or whatever. Actually, one in high school, I believe, when my little brother was in high school. I think I was in college by now. But one of his friends was having some party at their house or whatever, and it was like this rich girl, and she had like, I don't know, 50 some kids at their house, and they were all underage drinking. And I don't know who called the cops, but I want to say, and this could be totally wrong, but I don't really fucking care. I think somebody like saw on their Snapchat that these kids were like all at this house and like they didn't get invited to the party, so they called the police on them. The police showed up. Literally everybody there got an MIP. But my little brother like wasn't there that night for like some reason. He like wasn't there. And like so all of his friends had to do like community service and like do all of these things because they all got MIPs. And I was like, that fucking sucks. But also like
yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely know a lot of people were like in holding cells in college and shit like that. But
yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's until I honestly worked at a restaurant, I didn't know people that were like, well, I do, but I ain't gotta get into that.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna dirty laundry.
That's another story.
No, because I actually have a couple family members who have been to jail or prison for things that they've done or honestly haven't done. And like, it's just crazy. Like the whole system is just crazy. And some of them are really interesting stories. And then some of them are like, holy fuck, how did you even get yourself in that situation?
Yeah.
And like by association and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. It's actually crazy because like, I mean, and I think too with like Madeline and stuff, like, and you being able to see like the legal side of stuff now more like transparent. It's very like, which then trickles down to me, and it's like, oh fuck,
yeah, you realize
this shit ain't fair,
right? You realize a lot of people who are in those positions, like they had no other choice because like they either like couldn't afford proper legal counsel or they weren't educated enough on like the law or whatever, and just like the cards were stacked against them, like from the beginning.
Or just like to know that some of these people were just like, I mean, selling drugs, yes, but like
the tiny amount, like the weed laws different in each state. Like if you're carrying like a certain amount of weed, like one state that's a felony, the other one it's literally a ticket.
Yeah,
but like it just
one state
depends.
it's literally just like, you're good, keep it moving, just don't have it on you.
Yeah, it's very interesting, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen a ton of. I guess we're just waiting on Donald Trump to get arrested. Right? Wasn't he supposed to be arrested like a week ago or some shit?
I thought he was supposed to be arrested like a couple years ago too.
Yeah.
The fuck? Like what? This man legit just keep skirt. I don't know. Go to other countries too about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And like no other felon could just go to Russia.
Yeah. No. I mean, if you got the money, I feel like you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Honestly, facts. That's why he's not in jail.
Yeah.
That's every reason he's not in fucking jail.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. All right. Well, this episode was not supposed to be about this.
Prison talk.
Prison talk. But if you do actually have any interesting like stories about being in jail or prison, like we'd love to hear them, and I'd love to
write in your prison
and
stories.
I'd love to hear them. Before Emily gets into her intrusive thoughts, I thought that I would also take the time. So last week we talked about just oh my god, get it together. Last week we talked about like where do you find relationships and like where are people looking and like all that kind of stuff. And I put it on our Instagram story and had you guys like write in, and I want to say a lot of you were absolutely adorable with your answer. Like,
wait, I want to hear because I don't. So Kellen runs our Instagram, and the only time I'm ever like on our feed is when I post the reels from the podcast clips. But she, like, if you guys ever write in to our DMs or anything, like, she's the one who's on that line. I'm the TikTok girl, but she's the Instagram gal.
Yeah, and, like, it is so cute. And not one of them was fucking offbeat. Like, they were all the same energy, and it was all the energy that we love in this podcast.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so, myself. I stopped looking to focus on myself and make genuine connections And now I'm engaged. Someone else said inward. Somebody else said not to be emo but myself. Next one, loving myself. Next person, in the mirror. Next person, in myself for now, but because I'm getting tired of getting played. Next person, within
enough.
myself. Men are stinky. Next one.
Men do
Currently
smell like
not.
ass.
Myself, improvement first. Next one, not Tinder because I got banned. Next one,
Same.
I don't even know where to look. Next one, myself. I'm learning how to put my energy first. Next one, I try to find new ways to love and care for myself. Boys always give me problems. Next one, and last one, myself, question mark. That's where I need it most. So
Wait, that's actually like, that's such a like cool thing to hear, because like, yes, that episode was about meeting people or whatever, but I think the fact that we see a lot of other women having the same like, I need to be putting myself first mentality is like really refreshing to hear.
no, exactly, because I think that like you and I do it all the time, or we try to do
Yeah.
it all the time, and like
Yeah.
of course we're not perfect because like we're human, and like
Yeah.
at some point we all want human connection and we all want those things.
Yeah.
But it's also like, yeah, I think like I think it's actually really interesting that women themselves are just taking a step back and being like,
Mhm.
we gotta love myself. And
Also-
honestly, I feel like loving yourself too to other whatever you're attracted to is also just more attractive
1000%.
to just be like in
Yeah.
your fucking peace and like
Well, and
doing
that's
your
why
thing.
I think like, especially like for us, like where we are in life, it's like for a man to come in, like he obviously has to be like an addition to our life. You can't take anything away from it, but also like that comes with being so secure in his self and being in love with himself and not needing, the same way we don't need this person for validation, I don't want them to need me for validation.
And also, I feel like they also have to be just as busy.
exactly.
They have to be having their own projects. They have to be having their own things. But at the end of the day, like we can meet up and like have dinner together. And,
Yeah.
like, we can meet up and like watch a
bang
movie.
it out in the back room.
Fuck yeah. but you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that
yeah.
that's really cool to like one, hear that from a lot of people, but like also even from our perspective, it's like from 8 to 5, like hopefully one day our goal would be that it's about us.
Mm-hmm.
And like honestly, most of the day for us, 8 to like 7 o'clock is
Yeah.
we're working, we're eating, we're going to the gym, and then we're working on the podcast.
Yeah.
And then after that, so come like 9 o'clock, are you okay with having a late dinner?
Yeah.
Are you okay with like only seeing me and like watching one Netflix show and going to bed?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that okay? Or because if it's not, like that's not gonna work.
right.
In like the environment that like you and I are just like in right now, in the
Yeah.
space that we're going
and probably
into.
a lot of people too. I mean, you just even recently like, you know, started a second job, and I feel like it's not a unique thing to most people right now.
Yeah.
So like just being busy is just a part of life. There's this creator on TikTok that I fucking am obsessed with. Her name's Talia. I cannot think of her last name. It's like something Stein. I cannot think of her last name, but she's amazing. She's very feminist. Like she's been on Drew's podcast, you know, and like she has her own podcast as well. And I think she does like a Snapchat podcast thing, like through Snapchat or whatever, like a mini series. She's great, but she posted a video the other day about being like not seeking validation from men and being like realizing that like you're the only person who can bring you like true happiness. And then she goes, but I also realize that like I'm a person who's never wanted kids, so that's also why I'm so okay with being single until I find the right person, because I know that like I don't have that pressure on me to like become pregnant or whatever. And I was thinking about you and I feel like that's kind of similar for us too. It's like,
Yeah.
she said, you know what? I don't picture myself in a relationship in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, whatever, because like that's not something that's going to like
Make or break my life.
right
goal.
because
Yeah.
she's like, I could see myself, you know, meeting the love of my life when I'm 50 and being okay with that. But she's like, I do also understand women who like don't completely understand where I'm coming from because they want kids. And I was like, I never thought of that.
No.
Like that whole like quote biological clock thing, because like I've never really thought of like my inability to have children affecting like my romantic life, because like I've never really thought about
No, that's actually true. Because
really wanting
that's
kids.
actually very true, because I've been watching a show, Summer House, which like I'm sure a lot
Mhm.
of you have watched. But like if you've ever watched it, Carl and Lindsay are now like engaged from it, and like they've been lifelong like OGs from the show, and they've always just been best friends. And now like randomly this past season they started dating. Now they're engaged in real life and like just like planning a wedding because she like wants that biological clock. Like, she wants the kid. She wants to be married. She wants to have that fairy tale life. And like,
dude, that you're gonna fuck the sound up, bro. You can't be rubbing your neck on it.
So like, and it's just like that is like a real thing. Like, do you think, like as a viewer, that they actually should be together? Maybe not, but they are because it works. They're in the same friend group. They like each other enough, but like they both want kids, and they're both in their mid to late 30s, and like we got to keep it. We got to get it moving. We're time is ticking, and like we like each other enough, so let's do this. And
so I think that is something that like, you know, I've never really thought about that hard because like I don't feel deep in my bones that I want to be a mother. Will I be a mother one day? Maybe. But like that's not something I'm always thinking about where I think a lot of other women may.
Yes.
And that's something I don't think I've ever like really empathized with.
Right.
And her saying that made me be like, oh.
No, but that actually makes a lot of sense because I've always been very like vocal, even to like my parents, about how like kids just aren't a priority for me. And like both my parents know that like me or my sister do not care to have children. And
also
like,
now,
both,
just like the way everything is, I'm like, I'm so terrified to have
but
kids.
they're both so okay with the fact that like we also don't want to have kids. They're like, it's your life and like you should do it like how you want. And like, I mean, we all have pets, so it's like, oh, these are like your grandkids, ha ha ha. But like, it makes so much sense because like, legit, even at my sister's wedding, my dad was like, I don't see you doing this. Like the whole time she was planning it, like he like was joking the whole time, being like, oh, your wedding fund is gonna be like a nice vacation for me and mom. But like just genuinely, because he's like, I just don't like, he's like, you were just so okay with like your life, and like that's not a pressure for
which
you.
is
You
also
don't
kind
feel
of
like you don't feel like you have to go out and do these things. He's like, you're not like a serial dater or anything like that. And like, which was like a nice way of actually hearing that, because I feel like a lot of parents, and my parents have too, being like, are you a lesbian? Like, why haven't you brought him a boy? Like, are you okay? Are you sure everything? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and parents pressure you to be like, well, why are you dating? Why are you getting married? And then they were just like, no, you're okay with just your life.
Also, I think my parents too, like because both of my brothers have been serial daters, and like my older brother is now married with kids, and then my younger brother is like dating somebody and has been for a while. Like, they look at my life and they see all the things that I've been able to do because of my singleness and because of my like focus on myself. And I think like they realize like, you know, it's not that deep right now. And also like both my parents, like, you know, they had been divorced prior to meeting one another, and like they met later in life. So like to me, I've always viewed that relationship, so I've never felt a pressure to meet somebody like at this age, because my parents didn't meet at this age.
Well, and that's like, I've always said this about my sister, and like I love her, and I think I've said it on the podcast before, but I've definitely said it to my mom, is like, I love her and I could not imagine her being with somebody else. And like her husband is like, I love him so much, but like I've said this, I'm like, does she like not want to travel the world? Like, like where she's living in Pennsylvania, is that really where she thought for herself? Or is it just like because she had her husband? And like, which is also great. And my mom was like, but that's what makes her happy. So, like, that's like her life happiness path. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I got to travel the world. I got to like legit live in other cultures and dive into different things and like just get up and move multiple times throughout my life, and like,
and not have to like worry about like planning out two people's jobs or two people's like lives or whatever.
So it's just like, I mean, but then again, like that's just not for everybody. And I genuinely think too, like when you are in your like happiness and like in yourself, like that's when you're gonna find somebody. To be honest, like that's when you're gonna actually find the person that you want to be with, not when you're like seeking out and like desperately wanting somebody. The person that you're gonna get when you're desperately wanting somebody is not gonna be the top tier person you deserve.
Because it'll be the first person that's also ready.
Exactly. Where I feel like if you're just like in your peace and it happens, great.
There's this other woman I follow on TikTok, and she's like older. I want to say she's probably like in her mid 50s or late 50s. She's single, and she's honestly like, I look at her and I'm like, I could totally see myself being like her. Like, she's like, you know, single, lives alone, like does her things by herself. And there's always people in her comments being like, well, who's going to take care of you when you're old and whatever. She's like, I am old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking care of myself just fine. And if I need somebody to take care of me, I'll go to a fucking nursing home. Like,
Right.
what do you mean? It's not your partner's responsibility to do that. It's not your kid's responsibility to do that. It's like, it's on you.
I think it's like the whole like nice thing about like having somebody when you're older and like retiring
Yeah.
and not having like a busy day. I think that's like there's a beauty in that. But like also my grandparents lived in a retirement home. He barely saw my grandmother. He saw that bitch at night.
They be fucking in retirement homes.
Facts.
The STDs in that shit is rampant.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding. So when I took the sex class in college, we learned all about STDs, and like the most common places are obviously like college campuses. And then the second is a fucking nursing home.
Oh my God.
Because the old people be fucking without condoms.
Well, yeah.
Because back in my day, you know what I mean?
But also they don't
They
even
have
care.
nothing to worry about.
What do they have to live for now?
They got nothing to lose.
Nothing.
You know what I
They
mean?
ain't got a whole life ahead of them.
Nah, they got weeks sometimes. You never know.
Hours.
You never know. But like it's crazy like how rampant STDs are in nursing homes. Look it up. Like the statistics are crazy.
I did not know that.
The clap is going around there fast.
I'm dead. But no, like my grandparents lived in a retirement home to like legit the day they died, and like my grandfather was down like going to movie
Shuffleboard.
nights. Yeah, movie nights, drinking with his buddies. He was going to freaking water volleyball and shit.
Yeah.
Like he was.
You know what's cool
living.
about that I was actually thinking about the other day is like that is like truly the only example of like actual like communal living that is like socially acceptable in the United States. Like retirement homes where you like an apartment, you don't like hang out with your neighbors. You don't like do events together. That apartment tries to plan shit, but like people aren't really meeting people at these things. You know, they're coming with their roommate or they're coming with their spouse and they're showing up for the free beer and they're going back to their room. Yeah. You know, like they're not really making genuine connections. Where at like retirement homes, they be hanging out. Like they be making friends. They be kikiing it with the girls. Like, and then they go take trips and they go on vacations together. I'm like, why are we not doing this in all of life?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, especially as women, how fucking fun would that be to have like some sort of like, not communal living, but like, I don't know, something where it's like you have like genuine friendships and bonds with people that you like live next to, whether it's in a neighborhood or apartment complex or whatever.
I feel like it would even be just like fun coming out of college, because like coming out of college, going like men, women, whatever. Like it doesn't have to even be like intermixed. It could be whatever.
Think about how you hung out with people in your dorm.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying. Like, and then from there, it's like when you leave and then you go to a new place. Like I think that there used to be places like that kind of in LA. But also I knew that
like
from
for
like
actors and stuff. Yeah,
I think like that. But
that
like,
was like, yeah, I do know that there was a few apartment complexes there where it was like certain management companies like owned them, and so like their talent could all live there for like a good rate, and then they could also like basically like be friends with each other.
Yeah, I also know it from like where like all like the Viners ended up living.
Yeah,
but it was like they all lived in the same place, and then like that's how they all met each other. That's why they're all connected. That's why like that is even why like, okay, maybe bad example, but for its time makes sense how like, you know, bottom of the barrel Viner or whatever was like friends with David Dobrik or friends with Logan Paul, because like
of like that house.
I mean, to be fair, like Cody and Noel, that's how they were friends with them.
Right.
1600 Vine.
Right.
Like that's literally it. So it's like kind of makes sense.
Yeah. But just like, I don't know, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I feel like we are as a society and as people like meant to be around other people and like hang out with other people and like, I don't know, build shit together, but like we don't. But imagine like how much better people's quality of life would be, or like just socially, like if we had those types of living situations. Not like a commune. I'm not saying we should like go be like in a cult or whatever, but I'm just saying like,
because you're it's not cultish. It's literally like, it's legit like a retirement home for young people.
Like I just need the people there, the management companies, to be planning shit that's actually fun. And like, and not even just like planning it, but being like, if you live in this complex, you are agreeing to participate in these events.
Well, that, and also like they have like a common dining hall that like that's how you get to like meet people. Like there's food, like there's like a food plan inside of your like rent.
Dude, imagine if you had like a food court in your apartment.
That's what I'm saying. Dope. I feel like that's how you're gonna start meeting people. You're gonna start like eating with them there.
True.
And then it's like, oh, we're planning like beach volleyball day, or we're planning a ski trip, or we're
like
planning
having
whatever.
something besides just like a pool.
Yes.
like amenities that are like communal, because like at the pool, like sometimes you like chat it up with people there.
Yeah, but you're chatting it up as in like
hey, how you doing? Oh,
yeah.
cool. It's really hot today. Did you bring sunscreen? Okay, cool. Bye. Put my headphones in.
Yeah.
Like, but like, yeah, if you had like a shuffleboard or a ping pong table or something, it's like you have to play with people
that are gonna be living there are also wanting the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like almost these complexes, like in your lease, you agree to go to these things.
So I will say, when I stayed in hostels in Europe, like there were a couple that were almost like that.
Yeah.
Where it was like so communal, like they had food there, like they had events that they would plan every night, and like it was fun because I met so many people from all over the world that way.
Right. And you guys are like all traveling and like
yeah. No, and I don't know. I feel like because it's like we were all traveling. We all have a common interest already.
Yeah.
So like I was always like the first question was always like, so where are you from? Like, why are you traveling here? Like, are you studying abroad or are you just you know, like all like you already had common questions, and then from there it was like, oh, are you? That was kind of cute. It was like, are you guys going out tonight? Are you doing this? Are you going with the hostel? Are you doing whatever? And like you end up by the night you have like a group of people that you're gonna go out with.
It's almost like a cruise ship. Like you know what I mean?
Legit, yes, because like you go out for the night. I had crazy times with like random ass people from legit all over the world. Never spoke to him again.
You know what's so funny?
But like we always will have that memory of just like
I mean, I kind of think back to like my sorority days, and that's where I'm kind of like remembering like all the shit. But I think if it was just your rent that you're paying, it wouldn't be as intense. Where it's like the sorority thing was like, okay, you had to show up to this event.
No, so I don't think that you should have to like you shouldn't have to pay like
right
to be a part of
right.
like the community, like you're paying to like live there and stuff, and like a part of like the amenities, like you have a package or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I'm not saying like you have like a Sunday night fucking dinner, like or like you have like a social time that you have that's required to go to. Like you're still living your life, but like we have communal, like there's like a cafeteria to go to. There's like communal things that like allow you to just like
and let's make it girls only, because that would be awesome. Well, like a girls only apartment complex. Oh my god, imagine. That would be so fun.
I'd be down.
My fucking neighbors, the only people who I don't like and who are loud and obnoxious are all men. I've never had a neighbor that's been a girl who like is annoying.
I've had girl neighbors who were like, it would be like a Friday night and they're annoying.
Yeah.
But like it was like before going out or like
but not
whatever.
like a Tuesday while you're working.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Girls only communal apartment complex.
Also, it'd be kind of catty, and I think that there'd be drama, but I'm here for it. It'd be like a yik yak would be going on there.
Yeah, I mean, it would kind of be like a sorority house, but at the end of the day, it's like,
but like you have your own apartment.
Yeah, you're not living with.
Yeah. I kind of like it.
I don't know. I think it could be
anyway,
fun.
So the actual main event of this podcast, because we have just been everywhere, is Emily's Intrusive Thoughts. Essentially, Emily's Intrusive Thoughts part 2, but
this is kind of a mini segment.
Yeah, it's a mini one because she's been off her meds.
I have.
For a little bit now, and she said, I have 3 topics, and she started laughing looking at them, and I said, save it. Save it.
That's one thing about a podcast. It's like when you're friends with your podcast host, there's like so many conversations that you have, and you're like, fuck, we should have just waited.
Legit. We started doing stuff downstairs. We were like going through
our
notes. We were dying about the notes that are in there, and I was like, we should do a podcast. I was like, no, actually, we're going to do it on YouTube
video.
So we'll make a YouTube, or we'll add it into one of our YouTube videos like real soon. Maybe we'll do it next week so we can take a break from like fully vlogging, and I think
and just go through our notes app basically. But this started because I was going through my notes app because yesterday. So anybody with ADHD, or honestly anybody with any sort of just like creative mind, I feel like probably does this. But I have sticky notes all over my apartment with just random notes on it of things I think of throughout the day, and then also on my phone. I will stop what I'm doing. Doesn't matter how serious it is, and I will write down just like some random ass idea that I have. Is that him breathing? What the fuck? Anyways, so I'll just write down these random ass ideas that I have. And so yesterday I was like, working hard, clearly, and I just had this idea, so I wrote it down. So do people with BBL / major plastic surgery float easier in pools? Like, if you have big fake boobs, do you just float? Like, if you were to get stranded, like if you fell off a boat, okay, in the middle of the sea, and you didn't have a life jacket, is that enough to keep you afloat?
I don't think so.
You don't?
I don't think so.
Because
no.
have you seen people with fake boobs float to the top?
I think that they're more buoyant.
Mm.
I think it's going to be an easier time. Like I genuinely think that they are a little bit more buoyant in the water because like fat is it less dense, so it's able to float versus muscle. Like really, really, really muscular people genuinely don't know how to float.
Yeah,
and
they're like rocks.
Well, it's funny because like trainers at my gym that I go to, like knowing that I have a swimming background and stuff, they're like, well, I can't float. And I said, let me teach you. Like, I could teach you how to float, but they're like, no, I cannot.
They like, go in the water like,
they're like, I have no fat. And like, every single time I'm like, hello, like, let me teach you. Like, still have not, but like, would love to. But it's because they legit have so much muscle. And I know that's why, like, if they're going to have a harder time, you can still float. They're just, you know.
Right.
So I could assume that someone who is even just like larger or like has a BBL or boobs probably is a little bit more buoyant.
But like I'm talking like fake titties.
But I don't
doesn't that shit float?
But I don't think that's your life vest.
But imagine you got like
I'm gonna Google this because I don't think that the fake boobs will do that for you because there's like legit something in there, right? But like I think that the ass, the whole BBL thing, because it's like fat being transferred, that might be different.
Because imagine like you have your implants or whatever and they float and your boobs just somehow float to the top of the water. You got a built-in life vest.
No, I don't think it's saving your life. I don't think that you can go life vestless in the middle of the ocean. I think that you still need to be prepared.
On boobs alone.
Like I'm as water safety patrol over here.
Back in my lifeguarding days, they didn't teach us about the boob buoyancy.
No, but they did teach me that they could be in the way. They will not make you buoyant.
Damn.
They are not a suitable alternative for a life vest. Breast implants, even though placed above the muscle on the chest, are not capable of making a person float. This is true for all types of breast implants.
So, see, you guys, this is one quick Google search I could have done, but instead I just wrote it down.
No, but I'm happy that you did because this is a conversation I needed to have, actually.
Because I was thinking, like, what would it look like if Kylie Jenner just got pushed into the water? Like, would her butt just go like this and her head would go down because her butt is so buoyant?
But now I need to know about BBLs. Now I need to know about BBLs. Do BBLs
help you float? Maybe that's been the purpose the whole time. Maybe that's why all these people in Miami are doing it. They live by the ocean. They're at risk of drowning every single day. Except I guess in a BBL, it's like you're just dispersing fat. So it's like the fat that you already had on your body. So I don't think it'd make you more buoyant.
I don't think it's going to make you more buoyant, but I think that's going to make that part of your body more buoyant.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like if you're in the pool, is your butt automatically just going to float to the top and your head's going to go down?
Okay, so basically they're just saying that the risks of swimming with the Brazilian butt lift after a certain amount of time is not okay. I'm looking for floating? Question mark.
Do that ass be floating?
Do it.
Do it float?
Do BBLs still jiggle? That's a search.
I would hope so.
It will move like, the buttocks will move like normal and will jiggle.
No, thank God.
That's what I was thinking.
That's all I care about.
Can you still twerk after a BBL?
Do it fart?
Sculptra BBLs require 0 downtime, so twerk all you want.
Amazing.
There's no clear-cut answer for if a BBL.
So scientists out there.
It's not been tested.
I need a scientist to tell me. Do it float?
Do it float? You just imagine just like ass up and like
that's what I'm thinking.
You try to turn around and
that's
like,
what I'm saying. Like yeah, like how literally that in my head that's what is happening. Like you cannonball into the water, right? And then you're like floating up to top, but just ass first, and your body's like this, like this, but your butt is just pulling yourself.
I mean, so the thing is, I feel like no, just because like. It wouldn't happen to you, I think, normally, but I do think that a BBL will help you be a little floatier. Will help you float a little bit more than fake boobs.
Fake boobs. All right. Argument settled. Okay, here's my next. This is more of an idea that I had for a product. A device that keeps bathwater hot.
Now, I know Zach would like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Zach be taking baths.
Here's the thing about me. I love a bath, right? But my hot water heater in my apartment is not large enough to fill my whole tub up with hot water. So what do I have to do? I got to play like 1912 and I got to go take my water to my fucking stove, boil it, and they do rounds of pouring boiling water into my tub to just get it hot.
So I actually think that's disgusting. I don't enjoy baths. I've never been a bath person. I think that baths are gross. I go in a hot tub every day of the week, but I don't enjoy a bath because in my brain, okay, if I take a shower first and then I take the bath, so not like I'm technically in clean water, but there's still germs on the tub, right? But then if I take a bath first and I'm sitting in my germs and then I'm going to stand there to take a shower, so it doesn't work. So if I shower and then clean down the tub, but now I'm sitting in chemicals. So I feel like in my brain, there's no good way.
See, here's my thing. I don't ever take a bath after being like dirty. So like I take a bath after it's like I took a shower either before or it was like a day where I did nothing all day long and I just need a soak. But I'm not like really washing myself in there. Okay. It's like it has like bath salts and bubbles and shit.
Okay.
And then I like rinse my body off with shower and soap afterwards.
Okay.
It's more of just like a soup. It's more just a tenderization process, you know?
See, I don't think that that's cute. But
I love it.
But listen, I think that there's a lot of people that enjoy them, so I'm not going to come at the bath community. But I just don't appreciate it for myself because I just, in my brain, that's the battle that happens. And then I just freak myself out of having a bath.
Yeah, I love one.
I think that you're...
But a device that keeps your water hot.
I think that would actually be necessary.
Yeah, and then also I think about like, you know, when people joke about toaster baths.
I feel like that's not a hard thing to do though, because we have hot tubs and it stays hot. So like I feel like if you had like a jacuzzi tub, maybe it could stay hot.
But isn't a hot tub still heated through a water heater like a pool is?
I don't know.
So I think you would still need a bigger water heater to do that. So what I'm saying is like an external device, like, I don't know, like a hot plate that you like stick in your tub that somehow also doesn't electrify you.
Yeah, I feel like...
I'm not trying to take a toaster bath. I'm just trying to be toasty in the bath.
I feel like the proper inventor could possibly do so.
That's what I'm saying. Has to be plausible. Because, like, I don't know, like...
It's almost like something that you would stick over like the ledge of the tub.
Yeah.
That you could like plug it.
Exactly. But then I'm like, is that a hazard?
Probably. It might like melt.
Engineers, make me a bath heater. I need it. I need it now. If we can make fucking hand warmers out of nothing, we can make something to heat up a bath.
I don't disagree.
Like
I just
a seat heater in a car?
I mean, there's a lot of like water safe things now these days.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if I could have a Bluetooth speaker in my shower, I should be able to heat my tub.
My little shower head could be like an LED Bluetooth speaker.
Right. I could have a disco in my shower, but I can't take a hot bath. Tell me.
That makes sense.
Come on.
Math ain't mathin'.
That doesn't make sense to me. All right. Last thing I had. This was more of an idea for a reality TV show that I had.
I love the like widespread.
It's because I had these ideas randomly throughout the day. Okay. So it wasn't like boom, boom, boom. Okay. So I had this idea for a reality TV show. It's called The Sims, right? So it's people who are essentially living in a simulation that's controlled by the audience every week. So these people are living in a house all together, right? Like a typical reality TV show, you know? But the audience plays them as Sims characters, basically. So they don't have true free will. They are living in a simulation. But they don't realize that they're in the simulation because when they're cast as like a TV show where it's like a Big Brother or whatever, where it's just like a communal living type Jersey Shore, whatever. They don't know that every week the audience is voting on scenarios that are going to happen to them, whether they like it or not, because they're actually just living in a simulation. But they kind of do it like Too Hot to Handle, where they come on the show and they think it's one type of show and they don't really know.
And then they find out they can't have sex.
Yeah, no. They just think that this show is called like, I don't know, like...
Yeah. Mexico's reality.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they think that they're just on like some normal reality show, but it's really The Sims. And they don't know until the show is over.
Oh, I love this.
That it was actually a simulation the whole time. I feel like that's
really cool. I feel like it wouldn't be a actual reality TV show. I think it would be more like a scripted show.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I personally, again, engineers, help us out here. Because I personally don't know how like logistically that would work for that person to be played as a Sims character as a human.
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. So you know how on like dating shows and stuff, it's like they pair people up to go out on dates when they like win challenges and stuff.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of like shit like that would be like happening, but the audience would determine who goes on it. But in the show, they think that they're like, they cognizantly are making these decisions to do it.
So it's a bunch
so like
of
the production
they need,
crew
like,
would have to like really, really
they
lean
would need
into
a lot of
like
psychologists there.
Exactly.
And stuff to like trick them.
Yeah, but basically it would just be a whole human simulation, and they wouldn't know until they would like each week. Like let's say we could vote people off or whatever, and they don't really know like. I don't know if there was
so
like
it's like a Love Island meets, because like in Love Island, like the audience every single week is voting for like people to be off, people to be on, like all like different dates that are gonna like happen. Like sometimes it'll be like 2 new bombshells are coming in, and then the audience is picking who's gonna go on dates with them.
Yeah,
and stuff
I
like
was
that.
thinking more of like dramatic, like they go on a trip and then like one person like falls off the boat and everybody else thinks that they die, but like they actually just like got removed.
See, that's where I feel like this is not a real show. That's why I feel like this would have to be scripted. I think it could be a very good scripted show.
Imagine like I feel like I could pitch this to anybody on like the fucking like Bravo network,
Like
and
ABC.
they would eat this shit up.
ABC would love it.
Yeah.
Freeform's here for you.
Yes.
Hallmark scripted.
Yeah, but I think it could be like that borderline, like how all weird reality is now, where it's like, okay, like that was clearly not like Selling Sunset, for example. Half that shit isn't real that they do. But
True.
you as
Okay,
the
so-
audience
okay, so-
member
right.
feel like it's real.
No, so but that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I still feel like it'd be like a scripted show,
Yeah.
but it could be like that, like a Meet Selling Sunset, where it's
But
like,
it could be scripted, but they still don't like the people
don't
themselves
realize it's
don't
being-
actually
yeah,
realize
yeah.
that like the audience and like whatever is like that's all a simulation. Like, yeah, they could have these like scripts kind of fed to them, but they don't really know what it's for.
okay, I can understand.
It's kind of like
this.
Survivor, but meets Love Island meets what's that Truman Show? I don't know. I feel like it's dystopian as fuck, and I feel like I would love to watch that.
Honestly, I'm into this.
Right?
I'm into this. That's why I'm literally sitting for it. I'm like,
I know.
Let's get this. Get a whiteboard.
Get it
Get
up.
a whiteboard.
I mean, come on, pilot episode, let's go. I
That's
could pitch
insane.
this, and I feel like people would eat this the fuck up.
The right person.
Right. Like MrBeast could make this a show, like a YouTube
1,000
series.
MrBeast would be the perfect person to
Right?
do this. Actually.
MrBeast. I have an
Mr. Beast.
amazing idea for you. It's The Sims,
For
but in
$1
real life.
million, I will sell this idea.
And now that bitch got money for $4 million.
Yo, Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast is like, we took 7 Taiwanese kids and we locked them in the basement for the weekend. It's up to you as the audience to vote for their fate.
No, legit. I feel like honestly, now that you said it, I genuinely feel like Mr. Beast is the only person that could actually pull this off in a good way.
Yeah, and
Because and still people respect him for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then at the end of the show, it could like everybody gets 100K or whatever.
Yeah, like people win money.
Yeah.
That hey, your life was a lie for the past
Right.
30 days.
Wasn't that fun?
Let's do it again.
These people had no idea what the fuck was going on. All these romances that you had, yeah, that was Tommy in Ohio voting for that. You had actually no free will.
Damn.
It's kind of like what the government does in our lives every day, but we get to do it to people.
It's a smaller scale.
Yeah, exactly.
A test group. if you
Yeah,
will.
and you could literally call it like the simulation.
I love this. Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
Yeah.
Society 97 LLC does have this patent. And
Yeah. Society 97 has trademark pending for the simulation. Is that thing have a noise in it, or is that him?
No, I think it's just like where it is, and I think his tongue is like up.
Oh, every time I hear that, I'm like, it sounds like a mini speaker in there. Yeah, those are the only ideas that I had this week. But yeah, I also did have this idea kind of randomly, and it's for a furniture rental company. So like when you move into an apartment, you can like on your lease, like the apartment company partners with a furniture company that will furnish your apartment for you based off of your choices. So you don't own any of the furniture, you just lease it while you're there, and that way when you move, you don't have to move anything besides your clothes.
That actually is a thing.
Yeah.
It is actually a thing.
I know apartments have like pre-furnished, but this would be like totally customizable.
Like, yeah, no, I know that there is stuff like that. I don't know how in depth it is to that point, but I know that there's stuff like that. And honestly, it's pretty fucking genius.
Yeah.
Because like,
What's the worst part about moving? moving
your shit.
exactly.
And also, like, what happens if I want to move from Nashville to fucking LA? I'm not taking this shit.
Or
with
what
me. I'm
happens,
selling all of this because it's gonna be way fucking
Exactly.
cheaper for me to sell all my shit.
Right. Or what happens if like my tastes change? You know what I mean? And I want to go from this aesthetic to this aesthetic. Like, I can't afford to do that. But if I, sign a lease somewhere else and they have their own furniture that I get to select from and like decor and shit, that would be sick. You walk in the day that you move
You're just
in
gonna hang
and
your
it's
clothes
done.
up.
Yeah, you just hang up your clothes.
Damn, I kind of like that idea.
Yeah. That could be at the communal apartment that we have.
That is also patent by
Yeah.
77 LLC. And if you want that idea,
$4 million.
$4 billion. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed another random episode of Kellen and Emily because we could not think to sing our life. Honestly, we both like, we haven't seen each other in a minute just because like, I've been working. Your parents, well, your dad and brother were here this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just been like, we haven't really been like around each other and talking. So we both were just like,
Yeah.
and plus you don't have ADHD medicine. So we're like,
it's really
more
downhill right now.
Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed it. Actually, I think we pulled through on some topics.
I think so too. Honestly, slay
queens. Anyway, we love you guys. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Society 97. My name is Kellen. You can find me at KellenRedK on Instagram.
And I'm Emily. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Starnsy. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram as well. We are at Society97.pod. Share with us your prison stories there. You can also find us on TikTok at Society97pod, where we post clips from the show.
And we also have a YouTube channel where we post vlogs every single Tuesday and the video version of the podcast every single Friday. So make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, and watch our videos over there. We love y'all. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.